Welcome to Stormy Willow, where we explore the paranormal, celebrate the odd, and never trust the living. I'm your host, Sarah. Boo Thang.
And I'm your host, Adele, 1 foot in the void.
Well, hello, One Foot in the Void.
Well, hello.
Oh, you aren't going to call me Boo Thang?
Boo thing? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I'm a thing that likes boos. I'm a boo
Like a
thang.
spooky thing?
Yeah, I'm like a spooky thing.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, we've been doing this a while, so I'm getting down to the slim pickings.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to refresh our
Yeah,
readers.
yeah. Well, speaking of boo things,
Oh
have
boy.
you heard the news about Annabelle?
I thought you were gonna say the good news. Coming off of our Pentecostal episode.
Have you
It
heard the
sounds
news?
like Annabelle's been hitting the road and maybe disappeared even.
I'm gonna tell you, okay, so Annabelle's just causing chaos. And now the last I heard, Annabelle was like at the Warrens, like in a box, where the stuff can't happen.
Safe away from the rest of the world where she belongs.
But let's dig in. This isn't really like breaking news, but it's fairly recent. But turns out that Annabelle, the haunted doll, isn't just sitting in the dusty occult museum that I was talking about earlier. The demonic Raggedy Ann that inspired The Conjuring's the Conjuring is
Yeah.
traveling. Like, she's on the road, guys. She's traveling. Like, she's promoting a horror mixtape. And instead of merch, she is basically leaping fires, escaped convicts, and basically just hell raising. Just absolutely hell raising.
Yeah.
And so this is the viral story that happened May 13th through 14th. She makes a stop to New Orleans, and Ghost City Tours hosted a meet and greet. Which, I mean, if I were New Orleans, I would have definitely gone to. I'm like, this would have definitely been on something I would have signed up to do
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
I heard it was like sold out first of all to meet her. And it was like over 900 people at some of the events one like
Yes.
and by.
Well, tickets, like you said, tickets were sold out. Like, I mean, like it was like a Taylor Swift pre-sale. Like, it was like no joke. Um, and so, like you said, paranormal fans like us, they lined up and they were not playing around. So supposedly, Annabelle has been locked in a priest-blessed box that was at the Occult Museum of the Warrens. But ever since then, she allegedly, well, she was locked after she tried to strangle someone in the 70s, and then that's when Ed and Lorraine got her.
Yeah.
Had to get her off the street. So as soon as she rolls into town and New Orleans, the Nottoway plantation mysteriously burns down, and then 10 inmates are they just Houdini their way out of a New Orleans jail. And so TikTok is like, this is a full-on demonic doll apocalypse. And so people have started making jokes, and then like these jokes have turned serious. People are basically sending death threats to the event host, blaming them for releasing evil to Louisiana, which I think is hilarious. So the doll's caretakers, yes, that's a real job you could do, are now are basically just been getting all of this like crap from people, like, saying like this wouldn't have happened if Annabelle wasn't here. And here's the wildest part: it hasn't shut down the tour. She's still on the move. So even after the hell raising in Louisiana, she'll be heading down to, or I guess over to San Antonio, Texas, where she will appear at the Psychic and Spirit Fest. Um,
Oh God, all those empaths.
And then I heard somebody say that we should send her to the White House, and I think it's a great idea. Send her on to Washington on the way. I mean, why not?
Fuck not. It couldn't get worse.
So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, this is crazy. I feel like this doll.
I've heard so many rumors coming out like around all this stuff with Annabelle. One, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that that kid from Paranormal State, you remember like the lead guy? He was like
Yes.
very dry and boring. Um, I heard that he was like on tour with her at some point, but
Oh.
then I also heard that he lied about having cancer and was just an alcoholic. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but
What? He lied about having cancer. He's just an alcoholic.
it's like
Just
there you go. I
kidding,
don't
guys. I'm just an alcoholic. Calm
like
down.
I don't know. I'm hearing all sorts of shit.
He just
Like,
wanted to break the he wanted to break the alcoholism news lightly.
I guess, but like it
I'm
sounds
gonna
like
go in with this.
it really does sound like if you interact with Annabelle, like crazy shit happens, even like rumors. Like, I don't know.
It, and we covered on one of our early episodes, we covered Annabelle. And I think the funniest thing about Annabelle, Annabelle, I mean, no disrespect. I mean, this is a compliment. I think it's funny, like, you always think like she's this creepy looking doll, but she's just like a Raggedy Ann, like a little Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah,
Like she doesn't
totally.
look like, like in like The Conjuring, they make her look like so like creepy. She doesn't really look like I've seen creepier dolls for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so I don't know if Annabelle's coming to tour here, or what will happen, but they're definitely blaming her for. I mean, she's having a hot cool summer is what she's doing.
I want to go see her.
Well, yeah. So like when I saw like if I were in New Orleans and I saw that Annabelle was going to be there, I would absolutely 100% be one of those people in line trying to get a ticket. You better believe it. Steven would be like having beer and I'd be in line like I gotta get this ticket. I mean, especially to see her in New Orleans. Like
Oh,
what?
frick. Yeah. It's like, come
Oh, oh
on.
yeah. Yeah. But she's still out and about. Yeah.
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 She's
What?
causing all sorts of shit wherever she goes.
She is. I'm interested to see if anything else happens as she
Yeah, like
travels.
where she
So
goes next. And
maybe we should do that, Adele. We should do like an Annabelle tracker.
oh,
Like
yeah. Yeah, we can give you live updates as we find out.
that would be really cool. Like we'll follow Annabelle, like put up a map. Like where's Annabelle?
Yeah, we can make that happen. We will track her whereabouts for you.
We'll track her. Yeah. Well, speaking of trackers, I've got the storm tracker for you for the
Oh, great.
astrological events happening this week. It's the last week of May. What the heck, guys? It's almost my birth season.
Yeah.
June. Yeah.
Word.
So here is your Stormy Willow astro weather forecast for May 25th to June 1st. All right. Now this has been verified by our favorite, the Astro Twins. So we know Astro Twins are the best, man. They are legit. So here we go. Um, Today, Sunday, May 25th, we've got a nice calm before the storm. Just vibes today, guys. It's the stillness before the Gemini new moon chaos kicks in tomorrow. So it's a great day to rest, reset, maybe overthink in silence. Now, we're kicking off Monday, May 26th with a super moon in Gemini. We had a lot of Gemini friends, listeners too. So happy birthday month to you guys. So our Monday, we've got a fast talking front moving in. So you've got big brainstorms, bold declarations, and zero chill. So the supermoon is going to be stirring up some social skies. But here's a warning for you: be careful what seeds you plant. They might bloom fast.
I wonder
Ooh.
what that means.
I
Guess
guess
plants a
like
good one. We planted pumpkins.
well, hopefully they'll grow fast.
They are.
So Tuesday, May 27th, we have Mercury trine Pluto. So we've got some fog lifting and some secret spilling. So truths emerge like swamp bubbles. Watch what rises.
We already know what's going on with P. Diddy.
We already know. Well, maybe there's more we don't know. It seems like there's something all the time we don't know about him. And then Wednesday, May the 28th, we have partly cloudy skies with a chance of flashbacks. Can we say deja vu? Old convos resurface. But this time, you're going to know what to say. Hey, that's always nice. And
Okay.
then Thursday, May the 29th, we have a wind advisory, loose lips and sharp wits. Ideas are flying faster than your cousin's side hustle pitch. Not all of them are going to be good, though. So choose your words and your conspiracies wisely.
Okay.
On Thursday. And then Friday, May the 30th, we have Mercury Cosme. Cosme.
Causing me what?
It's going to be causing you some clear skies and clarity.
Okay, good.
Yeah, good stuff. So, one rare crystal clear mental moment. Use it to sign, say, or settle something because by next week, it's going to be back to chaos. And then the weekend, May 31st through June 1st, it's going to be mostly moody with scattered insights. So the energy is going to be slow, but it's just not going to quit. It's just like it's a good time to maybe look inward, people watch dramatically from your porch swing. Just observe and try not to be a part of the chaos. And because it's Memorial Day weekend, I have a special treat for you all. I've got a quick one liner for all of your zodiacs. Starting with Aries, we've got a neighborhood watch alert. Local gossip is hotter than a Bojangles biscuit. Use the week to speak up, reconnect, and maybe start a podcast that no one asked for.
Right.
Taurus, cha-ching storm system. Money's talking, rolling in like summer thunder. Time to budget, hustle, or ask for that raise before someone else spends it for you. All right, Gemini's birthday supercell. You're in the eye of this week's cosmic storm. Everyone's looking your way. So say the thing, wear the outfit, launch the chaos. Own it, Gemini. Cancer, spiritual drizzle, dreamy fog, and late night journaling vibes. Your inner world's louder than your outer one. So light a candle and get weird.
Okay.
Leo, friendship fireworks. What? Your social life's about to pop off. Say yes to invites, group chats, and slightly unhinged ideas. You need it.
Okay.
Virgo, career cold front. Spotlights on your work zone. Polish that resume, schedule the meeting, or finally tell Brad you're not covering his shift again.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, Brad. Libra, perspective shift gust. Fresh ideas are blowing through. Grab one and run with it. Travel plans, spiritual epiphanies, or changing majors. Say yes to all. And then for our Scorpios, emotional flash flood watch. Your feelings are deep sea diving and dragging secrets up with them. It's time to purge, pay off, or pack light emotionally.
Okay.
Sagittarius, relationship barometer rising. Your connections get real or real weird. Either way, clarity's coming, so lean into the truth or the flirtation. Capricorn, routine wind shifts. Shake up your schedule. Your old to do list is expired, and your back deserves a new desk chair. Prioritize your damn self. Aquarius, creative heat wave coming your way. Inspiration is sizzling. Do the weird project. Wear the sparkle. Someone's watching and low key impressed. And then finally, Pisces, emotional homefront storms. Home is where the drama is, or the healing. Address what's been under the rug, literally or emotionally, and rearrange the damn furniture while you're at it. So there you go, guys. That is your week, in a nutshell.
Hmm.
Back to you in the studios, Adele.
Sounds like the same old, same old.
Same shit, different week.
It's just we're in this constant cosmic fog for like the last year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's so true. Like I just feel like it's hard. It's like there's really not much you feel like you can look forward to.
yeah, except to the end.
Except for like when it says like, just maybe go with it. It's like,
Ride
okay.
the wave.
Yeah. I was like, I've been riding that wave for 4 years. I'm tired.
I'm a pro surfer at this point, bitch.
Yeah. I'm done. Can I just boogie board for a little
Call
bit?
me
I'm
Kelly
tired.
Clarkson later.
I'm tired. Give me my boogie board. My abs don't have the
Hey,
strength.
speaking of boogie boards, though, that's a great segue into our topic today. Made me think of Myrtle Beach.
Oh, the turtle.
And what's a Myrtle Beach without a Travis?
There is no Myrtle Beach without a Travis. Let's be
Right.
real.
So, yes. If you were listening last week, I landed on the topic of Travis. And then my question, though, and where I'm kind of creatively taking this episode is, does the name make the man? How much does your
Oh,
name actually influence your destiny?
oh
And
no.
it'll be crazy to hear the ways in which it kind of does.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so
And things just got real over here.
real interesting.
Let me put my
Um,
Miller life, my life down.
that's the true Travis behavior. So yeah,
Is that a spirit behavior? Yeah, let's talk about it. This sounds interesting, Adele.
yeah,
I can
so
see
let's
this.
talk more about Travis, and then we'll get into how much a name really can influence you.
What's it a name?
Well, and the name Travis, it's actually from an old French word, traverser,
Really?
which means to cross,
Okay.
which kind of sounds like a Travis.
Cost me.
And then it evolved into an English occupational surname, which is a toll taker, usually at a bridge or a gate. So, yep.
Yeah.
And if you
Travis.
do cross a Travis, there usually is some kind of toll. So it's pretty spot on. But it was later adopted as a first name, especially in the U.S. Um,
Especially in the southeast.
oh
I'm
yes,
thinking.
you're right there. My question is, because it ends in an S, is like, what's the plural of Travis?
Hmm.
Well, it's Travis says with an ES. That's the standard plural form, but so help you if there's ever more than one, is all I have to say.
God. I can't even mentally comprehend that.
And do you know what a group of Travises is called? A mess. That's some interesting stats. So the name Travis peaked in popularity between the 1970s and the 1990s here in the United States. It's most common in Texas, highest per capita in Kentucky. So yeah, kind of
Oh,
like a
Carolina didn't make the list.
no, not the top
Fuck.
anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a more southern kind of country name.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody from California named Travis.
Not yet, right?
Not yet. I mean, that might. I don't know. Are
But
you
yeah.
a listener in California named Travis? Let us
Are
hear
you
from
a
you.
girl named Travis? What are you even
What
like?
about a girl Travis? I don't know any girl. I don't know a girl
If
Travis.
you're a girl, Travis, please just we want to just know what you're like.
Well, speaking of Travis, real quick, just to interject, you remember our episode on the lovely Travis Tritt?
Yeah.
What a lovely guy, like a lovely Travis. But I was watching the Judd's documentary on Lifetime. Highly recommend. Wonderful. And there was one year in the '90s they did the Super Bowl, and there was old Travis up there with them. Good time. I was
Oh,
like, look
it
at
was a
Travis
great
up
show.
there. His mullet was fresh.
Well, speaking of
Fresh
Travis
cut.
Tritt, I mean, yeah, so the name Travis usually associated with Southern masculinity. That's spot on. Country and rock culture,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and anti-authority or rebel kind of archetypes. I'd say that's definitely Travis, right? We're not saying he's a bad guy. We're just saying, like,
Yeah.
you can't control Travis.
No, Travis can't be controlled.
Vibe and like what is Travis about? I would say he's kind of perpetually in his 20s, no matter how old he actually is or how many times his license has been suspended. He's southern, he's kind of hot-headed, and a lovable menace in cowboy boots is how we would put it.
Oh, that is it right there. A lovable menace in cowboy boots. Yes.
Yeah, like think Mountain Dew in one hand and bad ideas in the other. That's
That's a
Travis.
Travis. Yeah.
He might wear a ripped Dale Earnhardt tee and tight jeans, and you can see the skull pouch like kind of in his pocket. So that's the kind of guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Probably drives something loud and barely legal.
Yeah.
The cherry
Or a
red.
moped because his license got suspended again.
Yeah, exactly. And Travis doesn't follow rules; he fights them. That's Travis.
That's a truth. That's a Travis.
And
Yeah.
some true Travis examples that kind of live up to this archetype's definitely Travis Tritt. We obviously know who he is, but if you don't, he's country music grizzled outlaw. He's known for his southern rock swagger and don't tell me what to do attitude. That is Travis Tritt, a true Travis.
It's a true
We even
Travis.
we even have Randy Travis. I know that's like his last name,
But he's
but
old.
he started as a clean-cut country gospel icon and ended up in one of the most chaotic celebrity mugshots ever taken. In 2012, he was found naked, drunk, and belligerent after crashing his car in Texas. and he threatened to kill the troopers, then became a tabloid fixture before suffering a stroke that permanently changed his life.
He was also on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, by the way. So
He was kind of popular in the 90s.
he was. He really was.
And he does have like one of the coolest voices I've ever heard.
He does.
And we also have Travis Henry. He was an NFL star to drug kingpin.
Oh.
He was once a powerhouse running back. Travis Henry's off-field life was a full-time job, 9 children by 9 different women, $170,000 in unpaid child support, and eventually arrested for running a multi-kilo cocaine trafficking ring. That's a Travis. Travis Rudolph, he was a murderer.
Oh.
A former Florida State football star as well. An NFL hopeful. He didn't get that far. Rudolph found himself in the center of a deadly stand-your-ground case after a volatile argument with his ex-girlfriend led to a text-fueled shootout in his driveway. So, hot-headed.
A little hot-headed. A little hot-headed. Yep. Take it down if you're not just Travis.
And if this isn't so Travis, there's also Travis Ranking, the Waffle House shooter.
Oh, no.
A deeply unstable and tragic case in 2018. This Travis opened fire at a Waffle House near Nashville, killing 4 people. Before the shooting, he was arrested for attempting to trespass at the White House and claimed he was being stalked by Taylor Swift. And then lastly, just a random Florida man, Travis Ward, the deodorant bandit. In 2020, Travis Ward broke into multiple cars, not to steal electronics or cash, but deodorant.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to save people from aluminum.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I want to know, like, was it, like, if it was native or something? I said, okay, I'll let you keep this one. But the stuff that's putting aluminum in your body, well, that wouldn't be Travis. Travis is probably just stealing deodorant just to be funny.
He's definitely an Old Spice kind of guy.
Yeah, that's true. He would
Axe or something. Yeah.
But I don't give a shit about aluminum in my body.
It doesn't work if it doesn't have aluminum.
Yeah, that is true.
Aluminum deflects all the radiation from your cell phones and aliens. We're just poking fun at Travis. If you are named Travis, just laugh with us.
Yeah, no, it's true.
All right, so those are some real life Travises that do seem to live up to this archetype of Travis. But as a whole, like, how much effect does your name actually have on you? Well, some social scientists have also asked the same question. How your name can influence your future and the way you perceive yourself. So first we have the name letter effect. So at first glance, it sounds like nonsense, but people are more likely to like letters from their own name. But this effect is real.
I did marry a Steven and you married an Amanda.
Right? Oh, it gets way more trippy. This is pretty wild. But this effect is real, repeatable, and crosses cultures. So they've tested it in different languages, different countries. What you do in good science is repeat your experiment, and they got the same results each time. And when you zoom out, it doesn't just shape what you like. It can quietly influence where you live, who you marry, even what job you do.
Wow.
So, yeah, the origin was the Nuttin, Joseph Nuttin experiment in 1985. He was a Belgian psychologist, and he asked participants to rank how much they liked each letter of the alphabet. Across dozens of experiments, multiple languages, people consistently preferred the letters in their own names, especially their initials.
Interesting.
Yeah, even when the study had nothing to do with names on the surface, people still rated their letters the highest. The effect was subtle, unconscious, and deeply tied to identity. What this actually turned into, and I love that these are actually more modern, because, yeah, that was 1985. That doesn't feel too far away.
I was going to say, that doesn't that.
But
you weren't even yet.
Yeah, then in 2002, like, I know, over 20 years, but still, it's in the 2000s.
Yeah.
In 2002, a group of psychologists also expanded this concept. They analyzed massive data sets like the U.S. Census records, marriage licenses, employment registers, and looked for name-based behavior patterns. and what they found is very interesting.
I would have loved to have been the researcher on that one.
I love stuff. Like, why can't I get paid to do stupid shit like that?
Right, where do you find one of those jobs is what I want to know.
Like,
Like, let us know.
this is where this took the nerdiest turn for me. I love
We
this
may,
data.
like, not only are we going to do podcasting, we have dreams of Stormy Willow Productions and maybe Stormy Willow Research.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
no, and this is the kind of stuff we would like to do. Just to put it
Absolutely.
out there.
So, check this out. People named Dennis or Denise were overrepresented among dentists.
What? Nuh-uh.
Yes. More of them became dentists than other names.
Which, remember in the Christmas show with the mean Santa? Was
Yeah.
it his name Dennis?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was.
I
But
think his name was Dennis.
that's
Yeah.
pretty weird. Also, Lewis was more likely to live in St. Louis.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Sarah in South Carolina?
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, no.
People frequently married others with matching initials. My wife and I have the exact same initials, and so do you and Steven. SS and
That's so
AC.
true. Yeah.
And no one consciously said I choose this life because of my name, but the numbers kind of say otherwise.
Yeah, otherwise. Oh, this is very
All
interesting.
right. So why it's valid? These weren't surveys. This was observational behavioral data pulled from millions of real-world records. So it's not like it could have been biased by the person. It's
Right, they
just
like
looking at
literally just pulled it
observations.
up. Yeah.
Right. So it
Like,
revealed
or whatever.
yeah. So it revealed consistent and statistically significant patterns that researchers link to a subtle psychological phenomenon. And when we say statistically significant, we mean that it's within a margin of error that's not, attributed to just random sampling error. So yeah, it seems as though we're unconsciously drawn to things that feel like us, is what this is kind of getting at, even in the shape of a single letter. So this letter-based self-bias became the foundation for a larger idea called implicit egotism.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
And we'll get to that one. So why it matters for Travis, because we're still going to make this episode about him. So if names can steer people towards towns, careers, and patterns that echo their own letters, what happens when a name carries more than just a letter, when it carries a vibe?
Travis is definitely a vibe.
And Travis isn't neutral. It means to cross, to trespass, to take tolls. So maybe Travises aren't doomed to chaos. Maybe they're just pulled towards it. Drawn to back roads, blurred lines, and boundary spaces where the rest of us just hesitate. And someone's got to cross it first, so it might as well be Travis.
Might as well be Travis is brave.
Yeah.
Travis is brave. Travis is gonna do the stunt that you're like, this is like you're gonna break your arm, Travis. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to try it. Travis is gonna try it.
He's the one that takes the leap.
He takes the leap. Like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try this stunt, and usually it goes wrong, but it doesn't matter. Someone's
awesome.
gonna do it.
Either way.
Travis is gonna do it. Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about implicit egotism. So the name letter effect is about surface level similarity, liking a letter because it's yours. Implicit egotism goes way deeper than that. It suggests that we're psychologically pulled towards people, places, and decisions that affirm our identity, even when we don't consciously realize why. So the psychology behind it, coined by the same researchers, implicit egotism is built on one core idea. People are wired to feel good about themselves, and we're more likely to choose things that subtly reflect me, quote unquote. It's not deliberate, it's not even emotional, it's an automatic ego boost baked into everyday decisions. So how did they figure this out? So in a follow-up studies, they cross-referenced there again census data, marriage records, geographic distribution, charitable giving, occupational fields, and they found Lawrences were overrepresented among lawyers.
Lawyer. I can't.
People often married partners with matching initials, which you and I both did.
Probably married to a Lorraine or a Lucy.
people donate more frequently to political candidates who share their names like first letter. So like
Oh,
yours would be
well,
an
there's
S.
nobody that I that checks.
I guess it might be like Abraham Lincoln.
Or AOC.
Yeah, I do like AOC.
But yeah,
Um,
there's I don't think there are any S's.
Strom Thurmond. But yeah, also cities and states with names overlap, like Florence or Louisville, had higher populations of similar named residents. Isn't
That
that
is
wild?
so. I can't believe that.
And these effects were small but statistically significant. They're again across huge sample sizes. I mean, this isn't like they only did this for like 100 people. This is like millions of records.
It's insane.
And that's enough to suggest that your name can unconsciously guide your choices. So how does it work though? So
Yeah.
you
So
don't,
basically, you blame your parents for everything if your life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. But
yeah,
this is your
or
fault. You had to name me this, so
you
I
really
didn't
have
have
no
a choice.
accountability
But
for.
I had zero choice. Zero. You named me Travis. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to act like this.
It's your fault.
What is it? It's like I never had a choice.
You made me this way. Well, it might be kind of true
It's
because,
true, right?
like, for instance, like you don't think I'm Travis, so I'll live in Tulsa and work in transmission repair, but your brain likes what feels familiar, even when the familiarity is linguistics. So it's like still a certain familiar feeling that you have. And it's not about letters, it's about identity. So if your name already comes with a built-in story like Travis does, you may start reinforcing it before you even know what it means and why it matters. If your name signals wildness, rebellion, and crossing lines, and the world treats you accordingly, your brain might start to agree. It's kind of like you're
Oh,
being conditioned by how also people perceive you with your name. You make the first joke so no one makes it at you, right? Or you act
oh
up
yeah,
because you're expected to. You choose the loud life because that's what Travises do,
yeah.
living up to your name.
Like
And before,
Travis, and like even in kindergarten, is always the one in the timeout.
yeah. Well, right. I mean, obviously this is true. We have Karens, Chads. What else do we have? Like we have names for all these people, right? Like it makes
Yeah,
sense.
so true. Yeah.
And before you know it, your name hasn't just echoed your life; it's been writing it behind you, like scene by scene, the entire time. And then there's also social perception bias. And this is where your name stops being about you and starts being about how everyone else sees you. So this is
Oh
more
no.
other people's
Oh
perceptions of you.
shit.
So psychologists and sociologists have shown that names aren't just identifiers, they're social signals, used fairly or not, to make assumptions about your intelligence, your character, your social class, and even your criminal likelihood. And those assumptions, they have real world consequences.
Oh no.
All right, so the groundbreaking study in 2004, the title was Are Emily and Greg More Employable Than Lakisha and Jamal? I think we've heard a lot of these
Oh
in
yeah.
recent years.
Yeah.
It was published in American Economic Review, and what they did, well, researchers sent out over 5,000 identical resumes to real job postings. The only difference was the name at the top.
Wow.
Half were given names perceived as white, like Emily and Greg, and half were names perceived as black, like Lakisha and Jamal. And the results, well, resumes with white sounding names got 50% more callbacks.
50% more.
50 more callbacks. Same skills, same experience, just a different name.
Damn.
Yikes, right?
Ugh.
So if you can imagine, why does that matter? Well, this was hard evidence that names trigger implicit biases, automatic, unconscious associations that affect how people are treated. And since then, other studies have confirmed this in schools, offices, and everyday life. Teachers expect different behaviors based on names, lower expectations for names perceived as working class or difficult.
Ew, I
Uh,
don't like this.
yeah, students with problematic names are more likely to be disciplined harshly, even when behavior is the same, right? In dating and social apps, names can affect the match rate and trust scores. Yikes. I didn't even know they
Oh,
had trust scores on these.
I know trust scores.
I
What
didn't
the
even know
fuck?
what.
Oh no.
And not to mention just stereotypes and snap judgments, right? So the names like Chad, Karen, or Kevin, they carry cultural baggage, even if the person
Yeah.
doesn't match it, right? Because I do know some great people with those names,
Yeah,
but
like I can't help what my mom and dad named me.
right. For
My great
well,
great grandfather's name.
what's interesting too, like Kevin, I don't think that name doesn't really mean anything here, but it does in Germany. So in
Okay.
Germany, studies showed that the name Kevin became shorthand for troublemaker or low status.
So now would that be the Travis of Germany? One
Yes.
might say. Okay.
Yeah. So where that's a Kevin in Germany, in the US, names like Kyle, Tanner, and Travis are often tied to memes about recklessness, fighting, or emotional chaos.
See,
Right?
every Kyle I know is lovely. Like not
I
like that at all. And I even know a female Kyle too.
I know some wild as hell Kyles.
Well, I don't know any Wild as Hell Kyle. Well, I know one Wild as Hell Kyle, but he's a blast. And
But think about all the
I don't know
Travises
a Tanner.
we knew. Like
I'm too
every
old probably for a Tanner friend.
yeah, I don't really know a lot of Tanners. They're probably the current young bucks, I
They're
guess.
probably Travis's son,
Yeah, exactly.
grandson.
So help you if you have Travis and Tanner.
This is my grandson Tanner
This
and
is
Kyle.
Travis, Tanner, and Kyle. But yeah, these stereotypes feed a loop, so the world expects something from you, right? And then you sense it, and whether through how people treat you, talk to you, or joke about your name, you start reacting to it, and that behavior
Yeah,
confirms the stereotype.
you gotta live up to it. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god.
So the name stops describing the person and starts shaping them, is
I'm
really what
so
it
glad
does.
I've only had to name animals and not a human being because this is just too much pressure.
Well, you
I'm just
named
gonna
all
say
your dogs Travis.
Herman was Travis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was such a Herman.
And a Travis.
Herman
Could have
Travis.
had little cowboy boots.
Oh, if he had little cowboy boots, yeah.
So why does this matter for Travis? Well, if the name Travis comes with the cultural cues that he's southern, rowdy, defiant, maybe a little reckless, then that bias becomes a filter. Teachers, cops, bosses, bouncers, even dates might expect trouble before Travis even has a chance to do anything.
I'm gonna set you up with my friend Travis. Nope.
Right? And
And
then if you're treated like you're a problem for long enough, you either fight it or you become it, right?
oh yeah, you're probably like, I'm
Reacting
so
to it.
sick of being like, I am such an angel. Like, I'm sorry, my name is Travis.
Like, you want to see it, Travis? I'll
And
show
then
you,
you just
Travis.
become it. Yeah, that's exactly what
This is what
happened.
happens. So, in other words, Travis doesn't walk into the haunted house alone because he's brave. He does it because someone already handed him the flashlight.
Yeah, he's like, I just showed up. Like, I'm scared to death, man. But I can't show it. It's Travis.
Yeah.
To
And
be a Chad, be scared. I gotta be a Travis. Gotta own this shit.
it's pretty crazy. It's pretty
It
crazy.
is really crazy.
And then there's even more. Of course, self-fulfilling prophecy is kind of a part of this as well. I think this one's pretty well into pop culture now, but it was coined by sociologist Robert Merton in 1948, and the concept of a self-fulfilling prophecy describes what happens when a false belief becomes true because people
Uh-huh.
act like it's true. It's not magic, it's just a feedback loop, if you will. People expect
Yeah.
something of you, they treat you accordingly, and over time you start to live up to their
Yeah.
expectations.
That
So
makes sense.
if you don't expect much of people, they live up
That
to
means
those
you want.
expectations.
Yeah. It's true.
And the classic example, the smart kid effect. So in the
Uh,
1960s, a study by Rosenthal and Jacobson demonstrated this in schools. Researchers randomly told teachers that certain students, chosen at random, were gifted. What happened? Those students who had no actual performance advantage ended up outperforming their peers by the end of the year.
That's funny because I cannot tell you guys, and I'm so honest in this podcast. I should maybe that's a Sarah trait, but I've had so many people tell me coming up through school, I thought you were smart. You're not though. I
What
guess
does that
maybe
even mean?
Sarahs are typically smart. Sarah smart, and so they're like real surprised when they meet me, who is a dummy, that doesn't fit. I mean, I cannot even count on one hand how many people have said that to me. Like,
What are
I thought
people
you're,
basing that on? Like now or
or
like in
could it
school?
be my name? I don't know.
Like when was the last time somebody said that to you?
Like in school, like high school.
I think it's just because kids are mean.
But I mean, but I wonder, is it a name thing? Or Sarah's typically very intelligent, and I just am not. I mean, I'm
But
not.
you're not unintelligent.
But no, like I was not like in gifted programs or that sort of thing. And so seriously, I remember like in chemistry, like I really had a hard time with science, and they're like, I thought you were smart, and like this person was like my lab partner, and I was like, well, god damn it, like. But I wonder if now I'm like, is it a
Were you
name
partnered with
thing?
a Travis?
No, I wish I was partnered with a Travis. We would have burned the place down, and had a good old time. No, I wasn't.
I don't know.
I believe I was partnered with a Barrett.
Well, there you
That
go.
tells you anything. If my memory serves me correctly, it's been 25 years.
Did you play the baritone?
But I was just like, I
Well, yeah,
wonder,
that's just rude.
that is
Um,
rude.
I think, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see any stats necessarily like on Sarah. Um,
Yeah.
but even my first name, I'm an analyst that has like almost all the letters in my first name.
But mine doesn't.
Yeah, you're a slave. And so
Oh!
is mom. Both your names start with an S.
It's true. We both are in very, like,
Yeah. Mom
that's
always called herself Slave Girl Sandy. Maybe she
oh.
spoke it to be kind of true. That's the expectation that she's setting for herself, or society is set for her, so she's living up to it.
I need the society to lift me up a little.
Yeah. So that kid was trying to do you a favor. They were like, hey, Sarah is a high standard name. Live up to it.
I'm like, I don't know how to do this chemistry wrong.
But yeah, so right, like the smart kid effect. But even just maybe that person saying that to you back then has put it in your head that you're stupid, Sarah, not smart, Sarah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you live up to that expectation, but it's not a true expectation. You're affirming false truths.
And guys, this is why Adele did psychology as a major. See what she did there?
See how I did that?
See how she did that? See why she's on speed dial.
To make it the smart kid effect, not the stupid kid effect. But yeah, so why did this happen though? How did these kids outperform, right? Like there was a
Yeah, it's
that the teachers
crazy.
were given, like, hey, these kids are special. Oh my God, these kids are special. They're not really special. So why did this work? Well, it's because the teachers gave them more attention, more encouragement, and more patience. All
Uh,
because they expected success. The students absorbed that belief and began to believe it too. So
it's kind
that's
of like
like,
the whole plant project. If you talk negative to one plant, it will die, and positive to another plant, it will thrive. Same sort of thing.
yeah, so it worked the other way too. So kids perceived as slow or troublemakers often fell behind, not because they lacked
Dang,
ability, but because expectations boxed them in.
so
Like
messed
they
up.
weren't expected to be successful, so they lived up to the expectation.
Wow.
And so, how does this connect to names? Now, imagine you grow up with a name that people associate with fighting, maybe trash talking, or chaos in general. That one guy from your hometown who definitely got banned from the Waffle House. Teachers,
That's hard to do.
right? Teachers roll their eyes before, like, he even gets into the class. Cops grip the steering wheel a little tighter when they see that name on the ID, maybe.
Like,
And
oh
even
no.
your friends joke that you're such a Travis. But you hear it enough, you start to believe it. It's
Yeah.
and then you do what Travises are supposed to do. You,
Before you know it, you have a mullet and an earring, and you're like, I didn't ask for this.
yeah, now you're just vibing with what everybody told you to
You
be.
got nunchucks in your back pocket. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And then final thoughts. So the toll taker, Travis, isn't just a name, it's a threshold, right? So it means to cross, and by its oldest definition, a toll taker stood at the edge of something, a bridge, a border, a line between what's safe and what comes next. Maybe that's what Travis really is. Not the villain, not the hero, but the one who goes first. The one who breaks the rule, picks the fight, opens the door. And whether it's psychology nudging him, society labeling him, or some ancient naming script playing out behind the scenes, Travis doesn't just cross lines, he dares the rest of us to follow. So next time you meet a Travis, remember, there's always a toll.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, Adele.
All right, and I think with that, I'm going to retire the Travis topic for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll throw him back in ever so often.
We will throw back in a Travis. I mean, I am covering Alabama next week, I do believe. We already pre-spun.
Yeah,
Uh, so I'm sure there'll be some Travis energy there.
yeah, so we'll for sure be back next week with Alabama. I'm sure there's a lot of social bias going on in that state and
Well,
everywhere. It's
yeah, yeah,
unavoidable. But
yes, I'm still working on it, so who knows what I'm going to land on. But it will be great. Adele, that was a great twist on Travis.
well, thank you.
You gave us some food for thought.
Yeah. So also parents really consider
Oh,
what
you got one more. Being a parent, I feel like it's the hardest job of all. Like I salute you. Wow. And now you got to consider what you name your kid. Like,
it
oh,
really can affect them.
insane, insane. I'm glad I just had. Well, maybe that's why my dogs are so crazy because of what I've named them.
Next one, Sarah.
I'm definitely gonna name it Travis. I
And
can
tell
say
her how
that.
smart she is.
But you are so smart, Sarah. It's gonna be the smartest dog you've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test that theory. Well, guys, as we say here on our podcast, please stay safe out there, especially if Annabelle's coming to your town.
Stay curious.
And never trust the living.
Living.
It's true.
It's true.
It's very true. Bye, you guys. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah. We'll catch you Travis's later.
Yes. Go do something real Travis-like this Memorial Day
Go cook
weekend.
out. Let your Travis show this Memorial Day.
What's your Travis show this Memorial Day? But be safe. Don't drink and drive.
Yes. Be safe. Later,
Bye,
take
you guys.